The Mayor of London, Sadiq, is going to say this evening, that Brexit has done immense damage. Now, there are three issues to Brexit that I've been looking at over the last year and I've been talking about. The first is, what are the advantages of Brexit? And nobody has actually been able to tell me. I've asked again and again and again on this channel, and nobody in the comments section has actually been able to tell me what are the advantages of Brexit. People have told me there are advantages. People have pointed a finger at me and ridiculed me about this question, as if the advantages are well known, but I can't enumerate them. In fact, I can't identify them. So that's point one. Point two is Brexit itself the thing that has caused the damage, or is it the implementation of Brexit? So in other words, is the problem the vote in the first place, the referendum, or is the problem Mrs. May's vacillation? Of course, I would always want to point the finger of blame at Mrs. May's vacillation. I think she was a dreadful Prime Minister, possibly even when history is written worse than Liz Truss. So I think it would be a close-run thing. And then, of course, we have to ask whether or not Brexit was inevitable from the referendum. The referendum was signposted as an advisory referendum, not a decisive referendum. So there have been a series of issues which we may eventually call mistakes. I'm sure history will. And Brexit will be seen not as a blip in our national history, but as a serious avenue, cul-de-sac, that we went down, from which we probably will not recover. I think Brexit will be the cause of the breakup of the United Kingdom. That, I think, is inevitable. Brexit and our disdain, or the Conservative Party's disdain for Scotland, made abundantly clear in the short tenure of Liz Truss. Liz Truss's greatest contribution to our history will be to have severed the relationship between England and Scotland. Whether Rishi Sunak's meeting with the First Minister can do something to restore that, I have no idea. Sadiq Khan is going to talk about ministers having developed some sort of selective amnesia when it comes to the root of the problems. Well, yeah, when ministers are talking, they refer to COVID and to Ukraine. They tend not to refer to Brexit as the cause of many of our problems today. But Brexit must be the cause of the depleted number of nurses. Brexit must be the cause of our rail problems. Brexit must be the cause of our teaching problems. And Brexit must be the cause, ultimately, of our obsession with immigration. The Brexit debate, instead of being a debate focused about our relationship with Europe, became a debate charged with the racism imported from the Brexit parties, specifically from UKIP, which in turn had been infiltrated by the far-right racist members of, well, those far-right organisations. And certainly when I looked into the makeup of UKIP, there they were, running the machinery of the party. There they were at every turn, running the machinery of UKIP. So I think the rank and file of UKIP were not racist. but racism was certainly in the party. And when it emerged, Nigel Farage was unable to control it, was unable to pull it back. Was Nigel Farage himself a racist? I really don't think so. I would love to have that debate with Farage himself, but I don't think that's going to happen with any speed. I would welcome that debate. Indeed, I wrote to him a short while ago. Of course, I've received no reply because he's rude enough. I mean, he's clearly learnt the methodology that is now in place in the heart of Westminster. The methodology of people like Nadine Dorries, Michelle Donnellan and co. That if you get a letter you don't like, you just ignore it. This isn't civilised. And Brexit was supposed to revive British values. I think it's revived a very, very nasty form of national identity, and one that I personally would reject.